6197. Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. I'm Ben Droz, one of the sports writers at the Daily Nebraskan, and I'm joined here by, this is not Joseph, who's usually on Tuesday nights. It's Danny once again. Danny, how are you?
Hello, my name is Joseph Meyer. No, that's a joke.
No.
I just got the pleasure of watching Ben trying to finagle the board and going through a rush. And
my cord was stuck under my chair, so I couldn't move my head.
yeah, that's not exactly fun.
So that's
Before, I just wanted to say something real quick, and I think Joseph would echo this. Personal congratulations to Jazz Shelley for getting drafted last night. That's huge.
We talked about it on the show last night, but once again,
I just wanted to get this because I wasn't on the show last night. Joseph wasn't on the show last night.
Once again.
So we just wanted to get this to give our own little 2-minute spiels.
Yep.
Huge for men's and women's programs to see someone go in the draft like that. That's incredible. Jazz is going to be someone that gets remembered in Nebraska for a long time, and that's going to be a legacy that gets carried on because that has been something that's been done since Jordan Hooper did it in 2014. And there's been Huskers that have gone pro in WNBA, but not straight out of Nebraska. So it was really cool to see it. I would have liked to see her go a little bit higher, but nonetheless, that's awesome that she got drafted.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna have to watch some Phoenix games.
I didn't think I would be tuning into Phoenix Mercury games this season, but I mean, we're all doing some things that we didn't expect to be doing yesterday.
I mean, yeah. So WNBA draft, like there's so many storylines out of that. You know, Caitlin Clark, Indiana, Angela Reese going to Chicago. There's so many big names. Like Caitlin Clark obviously has been getting all the headlines and rightfully so, but there are so many other great names that were in that draft. Like the fact that Jazz Shelley went in the 3rd round and
29th
we all know how good Jazz Shelley is. We all know how good she is.
Yep.
And she was 29th. Like that shows how
it's
good
hard to
this draft
believe.
was.
It's hard to believe, but I'm going to be very excited to watch Camila Cardozo and Angel Reese in the paint all season long at Wintrust Arena. That's going to be so much fun. But anyway, we got some stuff to get to tonight.
Yeah, so let's now go on to men's basketball side of things because Husker men's basketball got, once again, another transfer to come in. If you don't, all you have to do is look at the photo of the guy that's transferring and you'll recognize him.
Robbie Avila.
Goggles. Gavin Griffiths from Rutgers.
Darn.
Coming to Nebraska.
I was close.
You were decently close. You were decently close, Danny.
He looks like him.
He does. He
looks
does a little
just
bit.
like him.
So he's 6'8", and he doesn't shoot that much from deep. Only 28% from the 3-point line. But you know, a bigger guard that, I mean, what's so interesting about it is that Bryce Williams is also kind of a bigger guard like that. So they're going to kind of have 2 bigger guards. Bryce Williams could shoot the 3 better than Robbie, but it's going to be interesting to see how he fits into this roster because, I mean, he was one of the highest rated players coming out of high school when he went to Rutgers and decided to commit to Rutgers. He was number 33 player in the country coming out of high school. and then he in high school, in his freshman year, he only averaged 5.8 points a game. But he's dealt with some injuries, I believe. But he's still, in my opinion, he's got the talent, and I think it's a very intriguing ad for Nebraska basketball, just because, like, there's just so much potential there, in my opinion. He has like the size, 6'8", like a 6'8" point guard.
That's a really tall dude.
I mean,
That's a tall dude.
Like, that's like just saying Magic Johnson was 6'9". Okay. He's 6'8". Like, he is and we all know how big Magic Johnson was when he's playing in the NBA. Like, it's the fact that you're point guard at 6'8" is kind of crazy. So it's honestly going to be interesting to see how they fit him in.
I have a feeling that, and before just to preface, like you mentioned the injuries, also wasn't a starter. He was relegated to the bench, and I don't know a whole lot about Gavin Griffiths. I need to do a little bit more homework on him. From the little bit that I got to watch him, this guy, he just needs the time to be able to get out on the floor and be able to show what he can do. Because there's only so much you can do in a bench role, because you're going to be on a short leash. You're trying to get the starters back in there. And for a team like Rutgers that's always walking on the tightrope and trying to get themselves at or above 500, you're not exactly always going to give your bench players the longest of leashes. But I think what's interesting about how you mentioned the 6'8" stature, I have a feeling that there's going to be a new tandem in the middle. I know he's a point guard, but knowing Fred Hoiberg and how he likes to do the unconventional, and even back to his NBA days, I have a feeling that we're going to have a very interesting post with Rinkmast and Gavin Griffiths. I know there's a height difference there, but I'm very interested to see what Gavin Griffiths can do in the paint and trying to get some boards. But I want to see more of that shooting develop. He's just a freshman. He's got plenty of time still. And in a shooter-happy offense like this is, remember during the season, I swear half of their possessions, they were shooting before the shot clock got to 20 seconds. And it drove me crazy. Let the shot clock bleed. But I feel like this is a good offense that he's walking into. There's a lot of pieces gone, but the foundation's there.
It is.
We saw it work this year. We saw Nebraska regularly putting up high 70s, crossing into the 80s, couple 90s. We know that they can do it. Now, a lot of those key pieces are gone. Casey's gone. Alec is gone. Wilcher's gone. Lawrence, who was a big contributor in the second half of the season, just committed to Rhode Island today. There's some news. There's some news for you. So, and Griffiths got to see this firsthand when Nebraska played Rutgers last season, especially in the environment that PBA was. Like, first of all, who doesn't want to go play in that crazy environment that Pinnacle Bank Arena is?
Yeah.
But second of all, got to see that offense up close. Didn't get the playing time he wanted. And now you're seeing a bare bones Nebraska roster with an offense like, I might want to go play in that. So let's go take a flyer and see how this looks.
Yeah. And it's really going to be interesting because Nebraska, I mean, you talked about a lot of the pieces from the offense coming back. Yes, that is true, but the main piece they are missing is Keisei Tominaga. Not like they don't need to replace him exactly, but they don't have a perimeter scorer, really. Like they don't
Not
have a
at
guy.
this point.
They
No.
don't have a guy that can get his own shot on the perimeter.
Not right now. No.
I mean, I don't see Bryce Williams as that. You know, guys that were like that were Keisei, Jamarcus Lawrence a little bit, and CJ Wilcher. Like those are the guys that can
Bryce
do that.
Williams is going to have to step up next year.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. He got to play second fiddle to Keisei for 2 seasons. Now this is Bryce Williams' chance, and I think he's going to take advantage of that. He knows what's in front of them, saw where they could go when they had the fan base behind them and they actually were putting out a competitive product. And they saw the fruits of their labor. They got back to the tournament for the first time in a decade. All the hype around it, even though it didn't go according to plan, you're still going to get remembered for some time that we were the team that got back to the tournament after 10 years of toiling at the bottom of the Big Ten. Not to mention, too, that they did it the year before the Big Ten expands to 18 teams and only 15 teams are making it to the Big Ten tournament. So I think that this is an interesting move because not only does it add depth just to start at the tip of the mountain, but now we're going to get to see, okay, training camp rolls around. How is this guy going to shoot? And is he actually going to be a force on our offense? And I'm also very interested to see how he's going to play defense and shot blocking. But I know we said we weren't going to talk about this too long. There was, I know you wanted to get to some football in this first segment.
We got time,
but I like the move, but I think they need to get a splash.
Yeah,
the depth addition has been good.
It has. They've done plenty of that.
I want to see a splash. I want to see a big name player say, I'm going to Lincoln over X school, Y school, Z school, make it their destination. And then it's going to click to the national media like, ooh, this is a team that, yes, we were paying attention to last year because they were a feel-good story, but we should take them seriously this year because they're running it back. They lost a lot. A lot of people left. But look at all the pieces that they brought in. It's a very interesting. It's a very interesting story, and I think this is just the start of it with the guys that they brought in so far.
I mean, yeah, they've brought in, like you said, a lot of depth pieces, but not a lot of. I mean, maybe guys that could start, maybe, but not star players. Like this team needs that star player. Whether it's Bryce Williams stepping up, I don't feel like Juwan Gary, he's going to be a star on this team, but not on the offensive end. I'm talking about offense.
No, he is the Alex Caruso of Nebraska basketball.
I mean, even bigger part of it. I mean, honestly, even bigger part of the team than Alex Caruso ever is for an NBA team. Like Juwan Gary, if he's not on the floor, like Nebraska can't rebound. They can't defend on the perimeter. Their offense doesn't look, it's like everything about Nebraska is just worse when he's not on the floor. But like you said, they still don't have a big next to Mast, if Mast is coming back, and they still don't have
signs are pointing to that he will.
I'm gonna guess he will too, just because he hasn't like shown any indications. And why would he leave? And there's just like no reason for him to leave.
If he wasn't going to come back, he would have done it already. He wouldn't be letting this drag as long as it has. I mean, I know we're
because you have to officially enter the transfer portal before you can talk to teams, right?
Right. And I know we're only about a week removed from the end of the NCAA tournament, but you would have thought though that even when the portal did open during the tournament and Nebraska was already out, like, okay, let's start figuring out what my next move is. And like, he's going to other sporting events for Nebraska.
Yeah.
I was working a women's tennis match last weekend and he was there.
Wow.
He was watching one of the singles matches. I went to the bathroom and I came back and I saw him standing there.
He's a Husker. We got a text on text line. Where did Wilshire commit? He hasn't committed anywhere. He just entered the transfer portal.
The only one that I think we know of so far is Jamarcus Lawrence going to Rhode Island. Everyone else is just floating right now. Yeah,
just floating in the abyss. Might get picked up, might not. I'd be pretty surprised if CJ Wilshire didn't get picked up.
Oh, he's going somewhere.
Like he's going somewhere. So there's no news on where he's committed yet, but he is in the transfer portal, not going to be coming back to Nebraska. So with that, let's move on to spring football talk because I want to get that in before we wait too long because
that was good basketball talk though.
That was good basketball talk. So there was Saturday practice. A lot of contributors didn't participate in the practice. Guys like Ty Robinson, Nash Hotmacher, Isaac Gifford, Tommy Hill, Marcus Buford, and then Bryce Benhart, Ben Scott, and Jamal Banks. All of them didn't compete in practice on Saturday. Some due to injury, some just like pitch count, resting people, not wanting. I mean, like we said, it is April 16th. Back on Saturday was what, the 13th? Like, long ways to go. No need to burn out the players yet. So I honestly am okay with that. And Rule's been pretty pleased with the quarterback so far. Between Raiola, Harburg, and Cowan, I mean, they only had one turnover across all the reps on Saturday. Like, come on. If Nebraska just didn't turn the ball over last year, they could have probably won 7 or 8 games. I mean, honestly. I mean,
with the quarterback play, very easily it could have been done.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to remember just how young and inexperienced
That is true.
wide receiver room was, especially with ICG going down. Marcus Washington went down.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Bullock was okay, but for the most part, he was ineffective, and you had to rely on the run game. This time around, though, all of those freshmen that were getting the reps are significantly improved. You're seeing some of the clips that are coming out from these practices, and you're seeing some of the throws that are going up the sidelines, and they're toe tapping, and they're doing all these acrobatic movements that comes with the experience. You've had yourselves 9-10 games after all of these injuries to get your feet wet and get into games against other teams. Now you can come in and apply that into spring practice after you've had an off season, quote unquote, of training. Now you're getting into spring ball, and you've had some of this side training that's been closed off camera. And now you're showing this off with guys that can throw the ball. Dylan Raiola can throw the ball. We know Danny Kaling can throw the ball. Heinrich Harburg has made significant strides throwing the ball. I think that couple things. I think that he, first of all, was probably not expecting to play at all last year, which led to some of the struggles that he faced. Now that he's had a year-ish of starting under his belt and hasn't been playing second string to Jeff Sims or Adrian Martinez, Casey Thompson, all et cetera, all these quarterbacks that he's been behind, and he was the one taking the reps. It's different coming back for your second season, and you've seen all this. Now you're coming in to spring ball, and you have these experiences locked in the back of your head. Now you're seeing friendlies coming at you, but that's not how you're thinking. You're not thinking friendlies, you're thinking foes. And you know what you got to do now. Not only that, but you got a mostly healthy offensive line now that you're expecting. So you're not expecting rinky dink anymore. And the run game's been beefed up. The wide receiver room's been beefed up. It's not a let's throw 11 guys on the field and just see what happens on offense anymore. People decided to come here. People have strengthened themselves. The offseason training program has been fantastic for this team, and it's showed so far.
Yeah.
I mean, one turnover in I know scrimmage is one thing. It'll be completely different when they play their first game against UTEP in late August. We will not be saying the same thing if turnovers happen.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that they're not throwing interceptions against a very good defense. We know how good Nebraska's defense was last year. To still do that with wide receivers, for the most part, that only have 1 year of experience, you have transfers in, but especially these young guys, the way that they're throwing the ball is very encouraging.
It is. I mean, it's good. Like, there's a competition. There's actually a quarterback competition, in my opinion. Like, I get Raiola is the guy everybody wants to have start, but like, I would not be blown out of the water surprised if Harburg's the week 1 starter. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be if Raiola not yet comfortable starting Raiola yet, not wanting to just throw him into the wolves. It wouldn't surprise me that much if Harburg would start. I still feel like Raiola should start, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think Raiola is going to get it too, but I think a lot of that's going to have to do with how the practices go.
I mean, yeah.
And I think another thing you got to remember is, and like I just said, how good Nebraska's defense is. Raiola is going to be getting the first team reps. And it's not like Nebraska's defense is getting told in their ears, like, hey, you guys got to hold up. You can't go full strength on this guy. We got to protect him. He's our week 1 starter. Like, no, that's not what Tony White is saying to them. He's saying, go at him full throttle and knock him on his butt and kick his helmet off. That's what he. That's
I don't know.
probably not. That's
I
probably
don't
not
know about
what
to
he,
kick the helmet off.
That's probably
but-
not what he's saying. But you get my point.
Oh, yeah.
He's telling them to go 110%. He doesn't care that Dylan Raiola is this big 5-star hotshot. That's part of the offensive line coach's family. Like that.
Yeah.
In his mind, that doesn't matter. He's trying to get the defense ready to play week 1.
And they need to be.
And they need to be.
Like they have to be just as good, if not better, than last
So
year.
that's why I think that Raiola is getting very valuable experience. And on top of that, too, if I think that Raiola should be starting week 1, considering the opponent that you're playing.
Yeah.
Like that's not to throw shade on UTEP. Like
a little bit.
A little bit. They're a respectable program, but
Mhm.
it's not Ohio State.
It's
It's not Michigan. It's not Colorado.
It's not like starting against Minnesota.
It's not
on
like
the road.
starting against Minnesota on the road, Big Ten game. You're pretty much the first game of the season, national game,
Mhm.
completely different stakes. Probably the only people that are going to be caring about it is Husker fans and Miners fans. In all seriousness, that's probably the only people that are going to care about it. So the microscope is going to be much smaller, and it gets a chance to get your feet wet against other competition before you go in against a huge game against Colorado the next week. And you know that Matt Rule is going to be trying to come back for revenge in that game. You know it.
Oh yeah. I mean, Nebraska cannot lose to Colorado this year. I mean, they just can't. Like, there was too much happened last year, too much controversy to fumble away another game. So
I was sitting in that interview room when Dion and Shador both were going after Matt Rule for the bickering that was going on. I'm like, man, this is going to be very interesting next year when this comes to Lincoln, Nebraska. If you see anyone wearing Buffs gear around the streets of downtown Haymarket,
I mean,
things will get interesting.
Colorado might be the second most hated team right now by Husker fans for football. I mean, honestly, it's probably Iowa 1 and then Colorado 2. I mean, honestly,
Texas.
Right now, I feel like Husker fans hate Colorado more just because you don't play Texas. But like even like
Texas, but
yes. I know like Husker fans don't like Michigan or Ohio State, but like Colorado is like, I think last year's game lit a fire under Husker fans.
With all the smack that was going into it, you know it got to some people.
So, I mean, just thinking about this upcoming year, yes, Raiola's probably going to be the starter and he's a freshman, but there's just no way. Like, I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched or my eggs before they're hatched, but there's just no way Nebraska doesn't make a bowl game this upcoming year. I mean, I'm just going to be up front. There's no way.
The front of the schedule looks very good.
So easy. Like, I am done saying Nebraska is going to win this game. They're going to win it. Like, I'm done doing that. This is Nebraska.
It's a very favorable schedule.
But it is. It's
but
here's
the thing. Here's the thing, though. I'm going to tie this back to basketball. We would not give Purdue basketball credit for being able to make a deep run in the tournament until they actually did it. Yeah. I remember sitting here with you the weekend of the Sweet 16, and we were both saying there is no way Purdue is going to get to the Final Four because of what they've done in recent history. And what do? They got to the national championship.
It's because we said that.
Exactly. But my point is, like, we can't. I'm hesitant to say that right now, just because of what they've done in the past and how they somehow always find a way to shoot themselves in the foot and cost themselves chances. They were 5-3 last year. Yeah. They needed one win. They needed to beat, I think it was Maryland or something like that.
Maryland, Iowa.
They had Maryland, Iowa,
Wisconsin, any of those.
Another one.
Any of those.
Maryland, games. Iowa, Wisconsin. There was one more.
Ohio State.
I'm blanking. They didn't play Ohio State.
Michigan.
No, Michigan was early.
That was early.
But there was
one team that was super hard. That
there was a chance. There was a chance for them to. It was Michigan State. It was Michigan State.
Okay.
They had that game. They had a chance to win that game, and they choked it late.
I remember.
I remember that game very well.
Yeah,
that was a game. Heinrich Harburg did not play well at all, and I was calling that game on radio, and I ripped him for it. And tell me where I'm wrong, but they had a chance to win that game. Then they go and they play Maryland the next week. They choked that game away. And then they had it with Wisconsin. Choked that one away. Back and forth with Iowa. Another 3-point game. They had 4 chances to do it. They could have won all 4 of those games, and they still finished 5-7. I know this is a very revamped roster, but until they do it, I have a very hard time giving them the benefit of the doubt because they haven't earned it. They have not earned it, even though they were 5-7 last year and they made significant strides. They don't have 6 wins. They did not get 6 wins.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't give them the benefit of the doubt until they do it. I can't do it.
I agree with you, but it's different. This isn't Scott Frost. This isn't Mike Riley. This is Matt Rule, and
I will give Matt Rule the benefit of the doubt once he does it.
He has a history of turning programs around. He has a history. Did it at Baylor. Did it at Temple. Did both of those. Turned around crappy situations. He can do it here too. I'm not saying Nebraska. Yeah, Matt Rule has just had so much success in year 2 that I'm not saying they're gonna get 10 wins or something, but if they don't get 6, it's gonna be bad.
I'm not saying that Matt Rule can't do it. We've seen him do it.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who tries to look at this objectively and look at teams, college and pro in the past, just the way that Nebraska has toiled and kept finding themselves in mediocrity, especially with the way that they were so prestigious in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that they're going to get to a bowl game until they do it. I just can't. I can't do it. They like I just said, 4 chances to do it in 4 very winnable games last year. Give or take Iowa. I mean, that's a story for another day. But even still, they had so many chances to get it done, and they didn't. And I know that it was the first year. I know that the offense was not where it needed to be, but it was right there for the taking, and it slipped right out of their hands. So
I agree.
I will be very happy if and when they make a bowl game. If it happens, I will be jumping to the heavens. But until that happens, I'm not ready to say that I can for sure say that they're going to win a bowl game just because of the inconsistencies that they've had.
I would give it an 80% chance they're going to make a bowl game. That's the percentage I'm putting it on it. If they play this schedule 5 times, they will get 6 wins 4 out of 5 times.
The start of the schedule looks really good.
It
looks really good.
We'll end the segment on a text. He also has an issue. The text said Rule also has a history of not beating top 25 teams, which is going to be a lot of on the schedule.
But that's particularly on the back half, though. And Nebraska has a chance. I want to say they could very easily go 6-1 in the first 7 games. I mean, it's a very soft front half.
Realistically, they could go 7-0.
They could go 7. They
knowing
could go 7-0.
Knowing Nebraska, they'll probably go 5-2. That's probably what they're going to do. Knowing Nebraska,
but they could go 7-0, and it's very realistic for this team, and that could give them a lot of momentum going into
to try to pick up 1 or 2 wins on the tough back
half. To go into Ohio State. They have UCLA coming here, which I think is going to be very tough for UCLA. Then they got to go to USC. They got to go to Iowa. Wisconsin's coming here. That's a brutal second half. But
Iowa and Wisconsin, those are the 2 I'm looking at.
If you start strong, you'll probably have something decent on the back half. Because this back half was also rather difficult too for Nebraska, but they limped into bye week. Even though they had a good game against Illinois, it still was not their strongest. They whimpered into a 3-3 record after 6 games.
YouTube comment said, should be 8-0 before we play Ohio State. The worst, maybe 6-2 or 7-1. 8-0 before Ohio State would be pushing it a little bit. If they're 8-0 before Ohio State, that'd be very surprising. I do agree.
I'd be surprised.
If they are 6-2 going into Ohio State, all Husker fans should be happy.
That is very realistic.
I mean, that is a very realistic possibility and probably could happen. We got to throw it to break. When we come back, we're going to recap the NBA play-in games that happened today because we had a lot of Husker talk. First half an hour of the show, back half, let's get some NBA talk in because I want to talk some play-in.
It was an interesting day.
it was interesting. You're listening to the Daily Nebraskan Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
The Double the Savings sales event is happening now through April 22nd at Bonsall Pool & Spa. During this event, buyers can take advantage of up to $1,500 in savings and receive 0% APR for 60 months. Visit the Bonsall Pool & Spa showroom at 33rd and Pioneers or visit their website at bonsallpool.com to learn more about their hot tub sale. Act fast because this offer ends soon. Bonsall Pool & Spa, every day made better.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Lincoln is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and actively involved in our community. Last year, I voted for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history. Property tax relief is important to every family, and I will continue to deliver more property tax relief to working families. This is Carolyn Bosin, and I am asking for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Bosin for Legislature.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome back into the Daily Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Ben and Danny still here with you. We have not gone to bed. We're not sleeping.
I wanted to fall asleep during that break. I'm getting tired, man.
But then we heard the intro music to this segment, and we just got energized, Danny.
The music here is great.
It is. And it's just the generic. When we can get our own music, it'll be even awesome.
One day.
We'll see.
Today is not that day.
Today is not that day. So we're going to start this segment, and probably the whole segment's going to be NBA plan, because both of the first round play-in games.
The opening play-in games of the West side have been completed.
Not technically yet.
Yeah,
Warriors have a chance to come back from.
It's over.
2024?
It's over.
Oh, it's over now.
118-94, the final score between Sacramento and Golden State. Sacramento is moving on to the second part of the play-in. So this is to get the 8 seed. So that's going to be between the Pelicans, who lost to the Lakers.
Yep, it's going to be Pelicans and
Kings in that one.
I mean, honestly,
for the right to play the Thunder.
I'm just going to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if either the Pelicans or the Kings would push the Thunder to a 6-game series.
I wouldn't be either. I know that Thunder have a 57-25 record. It was a tooth and nail battle for Oklahoma City to work their way up to the top of the chain.
Mm-hmm.
It really was a power struggle between Denver and Minnesota.
Yeah,
the entire season
it was
at the top of the conference, and then here comes Thunder out of nowhere, and they steal the top spot.
Yep.
So I know that they're hot, but in a year of the favorites, can you really pick anyone but Denver to get out of the Western Conference?
I mean, yeah,
I'm with you though. I think that New Orleans or Sacramento will give Oklahoma City a run for their money. I really don't know who would win that series. I think it will go 6 or 7.
It probably
will be the Thunder.
But it'll be actually a fun series. Usually 1-8 series games are not that great. Except for the Heat last year, when every 8 series against an 8 seed was amazing.
If somehow the Heat lose their game tomorrow and then win Friday's game, go play the Celtics, that's going to be a crazy series.
Bro, the Heat,
crazy series.
Okay, I'm a Heat fan. The Heat need to win this game because they can't play Celtics first round. If they play Celtics first round, they're going to lose.
I know we had this discussion last week, and I went home and I thought about it, and I looked into the numbers a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, he's kind of right. I still think a Heat Celtics series would be very interesting.
It would be good.
I'm with you though that I think the Celtics will beat Miami and that, but it sets a very interesting storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to flip it back to the West. Excuse me, real quick, and I want to pose a question to you.
Pose it.
Is the Golden State dynasty over?
I was going to ask you, and I forgot to ask you.
I win.
He wins. So, I mean, yes, it is. The era of this big three is over. Draymond Green is a nutcase. Klay Thompson has injuries. Steph Curry is still Steph Curry. But it's this era of Warriors basketball is going to be coming to an end. I mean, it is.
I'm sorry. I can't.
What? I said nutcase. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I just thought it was funny. No, I'm with you. And even though Golden State got hot towards the end of the season, I mean, you had to know it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this begs the question is, what does Golden State do from here? you still have the three. You still have Clay, you still have Steph, you still have Dre. Jordan Poole
Maybe. Is Draymond Green
okay,
going to come back next year?
But I'm saying as of right now,
yeah,
that's who you have. Jordan Poole's still there.
What?
And
Jordan Poole's not on the Warriors.
Oh man,
he's on the Wizards. Are you talking about Kuminga?
Yes, him. My bad.
I knew what you were talking about.
Thank you. Kuminga's still there. Man, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. Kuminga's still there. So the pieces are everyone's just old. I mean, everyone's old. Clay keeps getting hurt. Draymond can't keep himself on the floor. He keeps getting himself tossed out of games.
Not because of injuries.
Not because he can't keep himself on the floor, and it's injuries is not the problem there. But Steph still plays well.
Steph Curry is still one of the best players in basketball.
Steph Curry is still one of the best players in basketball. But I wonder, would Golden State actually consider trading Steph Curry?
No.
Or on the flip side of that equation, Steph Curry knows that Golden State's not going anywhere.
No.
Will he go somewhere else?
No. The Warriors could go 0-82 or 0-84, however many games during the regular season.
I don't know.
He would not request a trade.
I don't know.
He is going to be a Warrior for life. I'm not even a Warriors fan. I just know he's not going anywhere. He has no reason. He has nothing to prove. He has nothing else to prove.
I know he has nothing else to prove.
Like, what's the point of trying to get a trade to get one more ring?
The competitive juices, man.
The Warriors.
He's one of the best competitors in the game right now. You can't tell me that he's gonna hate at some point. Just the constant loot. Look at Mike Trout. He's miserable. Even with all the injuries, they had Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout on the same team, and they couldn't get to the playoffs. They barely got one winning season. They barely had one winning season. You can't tell me that Mike Trout's miserable. I mean, I feel like that could be a very similar situation if something doesn't shape out. I know that Golden State had an incredible run for 12 seasons, and I'm with you. I don't think that he's going anywhere right now, but I think if I ask you that same question in a couple of seasons, I think your answer might change. I don't know if he's going to want to stick that out, especially in the NBA where it's so player driven. I don't know.
It's player driven, and both Curry and the Warriors don't want to move off.
Not right now. I'm not. And I think I should have posed that question better to you when I asked it.
Just eventually.
I wonder eventually if it would happen. I do not think it will happen right now. There's no way. I think that
I still feel like he's going to retire in a Warriors jersey.
Ugh. I have a gut feeling that somewhere inside of him, he's going to want to go out on top or at least get one more ring on his finger.
I mean, just because this era of Warriors basketball is going to be done, that doesn't mean this team can't compete. This team has some younger pieces.
And especially in today's NBA where 20 teams make the playoffs. Playoffs quotes.
LeBron James could go to the Warriors if he wanted to, and they could try to win a championship next year. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying he won't, but I'm just saying stuff like that can happen in the NBA and it's like an instant. It
is a very strange league when it comes to that.
It honestly, I mean, the Warriors, I do feel like they're probably going to move off Draymond Green.
Why would they want him back?
The thing is, who wants him? Because not only does he not even stay on the floor anymore, he's not even that good at basketball anymore. I mean,
no,
honestly,
he's
compared to what he
prime.
was, he's just yes, he's still good enough to be in the NBA, obviously, but he is not worth the money he's making.
He's not what he used to be, and not only is he not as good as a basketball player anymore, he is a smoldering PR problem.
I mean, yeah. But real quick before we throw it to break, Lakers. No, what is it? Pelicans, Kings. Who do you got? Who do you got in that game?
I like Sacramento. Especially with the way that they very handily took care of Golden State, and I mean, still putting up 115 on that team, even though it's not what it used to be, is
still pretty good.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think that Sacramento has gotten the attention that they should be getting. I know that they're not one of the top tier teams in the West. You got 5 teams with 50 plus wins, but this is a very loaded Western Conference.
Yeah.
Every team that got to this part, that got to games after the first 82, I mean, Golden State, Sacramento, 46-36, 10 games over 500.
Mm-hmm.
And Sacramento gave it to Golden State.
Yeah.
They from start to finish, wire to wire, it was very good basketball by Sacramento, and it never looked like Golden State was in it. They looked completely overmatched. And you could tell how defeated the Pelicans looked after they lost to the Lakers.
Yeah.
That also was a very back and forth game. And they had a chance to win it at the end, and they just couldn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
Stupid fouls, and they couldn't hold on to the ball is what cost the Pelicans the game. And just from past experience with playing sports, you try and have that short-term memory. That's going to stick. And especially when you're playing on your floor again, your fans just saw that a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now you kind of come back to one game, win or go home.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to stick. It's going to be a very good game.
It's going to be interesting. Just real quick, I just want to know what team you got Heat 76ers before we throw it to break, because we don't got any time to.
I got the 76ers.
Really? I just think Embiid's too hurt, and I'm a Heat fan, so I'm going to say Heat. Heat going to the finals. All right, we got to throw it to break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up with talk with the Husker baseball game that went today. We'll recap that real quick, and then we'll get out of here. So you're listening to the Day One Nebraskan Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. The Double the Savings sales event is happening now through April 22nd at Bonsall Pool and Spa. During this event, buyers can take advantage of up to $1,500 in savings and receive 0% APR for 60 months. Visit the Bonsall Pool and Spa showroom at 33rd and Pioneers or visit their website at bonsallpool.com to learn more about their hot tub sale. Act fast because this offer ends soon. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better. You can get diesel anywhere, but what about atomic diesel? That comes from Stern. Atomic diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Man, that music's hitting hard. You're listening to the Daily Nebraskan Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Real quick, last segment. We're just going to recap the Husker baseball game that happened. Lost to Creighton, 6-4. They have lost 5 out of the last 6 games. Husker baseball was ranked number 24. What happened, Danny? He's displeasured.
I'm displeasured. It was a well played game, and Nebraska Public Media did a great job of this, consistently showing the wind tonight at Haymarket Park.
Mm-hmm.
It played a huge role. There was a play in the 6th inning. It was a pop-up right side of the infield. Second baseman was trying to play it like your traditional pop-up, and he had to run like 10 feet to his right, laid out Superman, and still couldn't make the catch. That's just how much of an impact that it had. Creighton had 2 home runs. One of them just barely got over the left field wall. I think it hit like the top of the wall and bounced over.
Mm-hmm.
And then the grand slam to give him the lead in the 9th, which was a first pitch, by the way. Kyle Perry comes in. First pitch he throws, gives up a grand slam.
Yeah.
It did not look good off the bat. It looked like a pop-up coming off the bat, and it just kept going and going.
Isn't that crazy?
And it got into the bushes in dead center field. It was crazy, but that's just how the wind plays sometimes. It's kind of nuts. But once again, the offense should have done better on a windy day. Take advantage of the high air. Josh Caron had a nice home run today as well. And he had a very nice insurance. I want to say it was a double in the 6th inning as well. To get Nebraska up at the time. I want to say it was 3-1 after the 6th. But the pitching, man, it's been struggling.
Yeah.
And
it was kind of like their strong suit at the beginning of the year.
Here's the thing that's interesting. The starting rotation has actually not been bad. But when you have a lot of 1-inning relievers that Nebraska has, and you are trotting guys out there like it's a spring training game, and you're not really giving a lot of guys time to get. I mean, you got guys going out there throwing 8 pitches and you're pulling them. If he's dominating, no matter where it is in the lineup, you let him keep going. I mean, I am in no position to be questioning Will Bolt. He has been putting guys in positions to succeed, but the players have not been reciprocating. There have been plenty of opportunities for them to be able to go out and show what they can do, and it just hasn't been happening. And in a very weak Big Ten, which I don't think anyone was expecting this year for it to be this bad, Nebraska leads the league. And
wow,
they lead the Big Ten right now. It's kind of nuts that Nebraska is leading the Big Ten, which is great. That's great for them. But they're not playing like it. And I know every team goes through these rough patches. It's part of baseball. But when you're going through these rough patches like this, and you're playing towards trying to get to the College World Series, you got to remember it's the SEC Invitational when it comes to hosting regionals.
Yeah.
The foot has to go on the gas pedal. You cannot be dropping these easy weekend series.
No.
And then losing basically every midweek game you play.
So, real quick, yesterday on the show, I said this is the game that if Nebraska loses against Creighton, I was going to start worrying. I think it's time to start worrying about it.
I'm very worried now.
It's 5 out of the last 6.
I'm very worried.
It's getting ugly. And they have Maryland this weekend, real quick. I mean,
it's a huge series this weekend.
I mean, how good is Maryland one of the top teams in Big Ten? Just give me your.
They have been one of the top teams in the Big Ten for a while now. Nebraska needs to win 2 of the 3. Without question.
I agree. Well, thank you for listening into the Day One Nebraskan show right here on 93.7 The Ticket. And theticketfm.com will be right back here, same time, 11 to 12 tomorrow. But until then, see ya.
Good night, everybody!
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for